Good evening, everybody. All right, today we saw kind of a mixed day at best. We saw that the Dow backed off, doing kind of a left-right combo, indicating it could back off, but at the same time, the other indexes, like the NASDAQ, traded positive after the inverted hammer. So it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to head back up, but there was a definite indication that this was acting like a support level. I don't know whether I can. Just kind of a support in here. So we know the probabilities of an inverted hammer is that if it opened positive and trades up the next day, there's a high probability that it's going to trade higher. So that kind of gives us the indication that if the NASDAQ is trading higher and the Dow is trading lower, markets really aren't doing anything. But here's the most compelling one, was the transportation index up 200 today, showing you the slow curve breakout and maintaining the T-line. So you add all that analysis together, and you pretty well end up that there's really no major change of the current market trend. Just that we're going to see a lot of movement from sector to sector. Taking a look at a few of the futures, crude oil just absolutely sideways right now. Not tradable. Wheat had a tradable humbug. To the Morningstar signal and starting to trade up a little bit. If it breaks this downtrend and just gives you some upside potential. And watching live cattle December contract, same breakout prospect. I did a doji right here at the breakout level. If they open this positive, doji sandwich out into new territory, making the possibility of this being the next target. So the advantage we have, knowing the different signals and what the resistance levels are, allows us to be able to take advantage of price moves with a much higher degree of probability. I was long lean hogs because I had mentioned in the chat room today that right now there's the African swine flu going on in China. China being the biggest producer of hogs in the world. They produce about half the total supply of hogs in the world. And swine flu, this African swine flu, is very contagious. So it's unusual to see a breakout any place, and right now they've got 17 breakouts or instances of the swine flu over in China. So if that really starts running rampant, the supply of their major food source over there may be in jeopardy, making our hog supply over here that much more attractive. All right, taking a look at some of the positions based upon our analysis of what should be going on. You can see what's happening here on TSRO. It ran into trouble here for a couple of days at the 50, now going through. So if you're long, you stay long on this, with the idea that you can stay long as you don't see it close back below the T-line. VLRS is a good example of a slow curve breakout with a doji sandwich right here on the 200, breaking out through this level. And then notice, just by coinkydink, the top here was the resistance level, and notice where they pulled back during the day. Right smack dab to that level and started taking it up. So you had a doji sandwich breakout. Now you've got an indecisive day. If they open this positive, you've got the potential of another doji sandwich move to the upside. So this one is still very viable as far as a buy on positive trading. SFIX, nothing to do here except stay long. These are the type you like to get into where you can see as long as it stays above the T-line, you can stay with it. CDMO. Starting to run out of a little bit of steam here, but probably what you have is a wave 1, wave 2, looking for wave 3. However, if they bring it back down through today's low, bringing it back down through the T-line, they're going the wrong way. You want to close this out if you're long. Crone, still staying up above the T-line again. Your classic fry pan bottom, breakout, J-hook pattern setting up. You stay long on this one. And DNLI, we close that one out. What is today? Today's Monday. Close this out on Friday with it closing below the T-line. Now it's done an inverted hammer harami. If this opens positive, you can think about getting back in for a J-hook type pattern. Again, with the confirmation being, number 1, your inverted hammer, 2, a bullish harami telling you the selling has stopped, and 3, at least the visual identification that you might be in a J-hook pattern. INNT should be out of this one. However, you can see what's happened over the last couple of days. Got the potential of coming back up. So you want to keep an eye on this one because it is a volatile stock. Notice it went from whatever this was, 5 to, went up over almost to 10 in 3 days of trading. It still has the volatility that if this is doing a J-hook pattern and the buyers start coming back in, your percentage return on one of these type of stocks is can be very, very strong. We did this one. CLDR is the kicker signal with the 45 degree. Even though it sold off a little bit today, you want to get ready to buy this one if it starts trading up above this level. I forget which one. Let's see, PRQR. This is what you kind of look for in one of these type of moves, a 45 degree starting up after that big price move to the upside. OCUL, all you can do here is stay long. Now, you knew there could be some profit taking because look what happened on Friday. A gap up doji selling off. The potential is that they could bring it back to the T-line before bouncing it back up. ARWR, yes, 45 degree. That was the other one I was looking for and I couldn't find it. So you just stay long with one simple trading rule. You stay long until you see a sell signal and a close back below the T-line. Now on the short side, we recommended going short on EAF. Notice the dumpling top, and even more pronounced is the dumpling top with a bearish engulfing signal right here at the 50, and then a close back below the T-line. Now you're sitting right here. If they open this lower, what do you got going on? A bearish doji sandwich that's breaching this last support level. And you're coming out of a dumpling top. That usually indicates the force of the selling is going to start picking up dramatically. BRKS. This is why when you start seeing something trading flat, move out of it, close it out, just in case this type of thing happens. If you happen to be long, you can always buy it back up here. Now, with it closing below the T-line, this is kind of what you would call a column reversal. I can't remember if that's the same terminology for a bearish column reversal, but a big day, flat trading, big down day, that's usually a strong reversal with the potential of coming back to the 50-day moving average. So the reason we're in some short positions is obviously with this market in kind of a choppy, sideways, non-consistent trading mode at this point. You probably can find just as many good short positions as long, which, when you don't know which way the market in general is going, it's good to be both long and short on the basis that if we don't know which way the market's going, if it starts moving one way or the other, at least you're making money on one side, maybe not making as much money on the other side, and giving you some time to get out of the ones that are going the wrong direction. Western Digital. This became very evident with the Doji best friend, then a Doji sandwich. We're still heading down. We could be, look at the kicker signal starting this downtrend. Wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, down here toward the 50 area. And BZUN has been a good short. Again, the evening star signal right here at the 50, closing below the T-line, doing a bearish doji sandwich. First target was the 200. So once it gets to the 200, what do we want to watch? Well, the stochastics aren't quite in the oversold area yet. And it doesn't look like they closed right on the 200, maybe a little bit lower. So you want to definitely watch to see what happens here. If it starts trading lower, you stay short. If you start seeing a bullish harami right here at the 200, that's where they bottomed out before. That's where you start closing your short positions. And ATHN, another one that with that little gap down, kind of a bearish scoop pattern, it sold off big today. There's probably a lot more downside, possibly coming down into this trend trajectory. Okay, the biggies. Tesla did a abandoned baby. Remember our warning, or remember what our basic usage of candlestick analysis tells us as far as the Japanese race traders are concerned. Where do most people sell? They panic sell at the bottom. Where do most people buy? They buy exuberantly at the top. Now we've got one of our strongest reversals, which is an abandoned baby, which is a gap down and basically a one-day island reversal coming back up. You definitely can be buying Tesla if it starts trading positive, especially going up through the T-line tomorrow. Amazon still drifting lower. Once something closes below the T-line, remember the probabilities are extremely strong that you're still heading in a downward direction until you see a close above the T-line. A left-right combo, a bearish doji sandwich at Apple. Where's our next likely target? It'd be all the way back down to the 50. So right now we're just seeing signs of some of these big ones selling off, except NVIDIA traded positive, but it closed right on the T-line. This is why seeing where something is trading as far as the T-line is concerned is very relevant as far as the probabilities. That's why we always say wait till you see if it can close above the T-line. So right now, this one's setting up, but I wouldn't be going after it yet. The gold stocks, nothing great there. Nugget, still drifting lower. Ever since our big bearish engulfing signal here at the T-line, you stay short. Labu, Hanging Man, bearish confirmation. Right now you want to stay short until you see a confirmed buy signal. All right, so we recommended Galt. This is the exact reason. Somebody last week was pointing out that, look at these stocks. They didn't work. Does that mean this system doesn't work? And the answer is no. There's going to be times when There's a nice buy signal, but it has to confirm. So what did we need to see in Galt to go after it? Well, it opened positive. That's the first part of it. But then you wanted to see that the buyers were still there. The fact that they opened it and immediately started trading it lower was good evidence that the buyers weren't there yet. Now, a lot of times they'll bring it back down, and then they bring it back up through where they opened it. That told you the consolidation's over. You can be buying. That was pretty much the scenario today on VLRS. Open, started trading lower, but when it came back up through the open, that is a good place to enter for two reasons. One, it's confirming the buy signal, and two, it's telling us the profit taking is over. At least when we're buying, we know that the selling is over and the buying has come back in. So you know at least when you're buying, when it comes up through the open, that's the direction they were, or that's who was in control. The bulls were in control. Hydra. When they closed below the T-line, two things happen. One, obviously they've closed below the T-line. Two, you can see how the strength of the trend has disappeared. You want to move out of this and move on to something else. And WTW on the short side, when you see that indecisive trading day and they open up positive, close it out. The probabilities have gone against you, especially when you're just getting into the oversold area. That's not a good place to be short anymore. Now, look what it did. Couldn't get through the 200, couldn't get through the T-line. You can always reshort it if it starts selling back off, because you still have the possibility of a wave one, wave two, and notice what started the downtrend? There's your abandoned baby. Very strong reversal signal. Okay, some other ones that look good right now. This is your bobble breakout. Failed here, pulled back. Now it's come back up through this level, so essentially you've got a J-hook pattern. You can be buying this one on positive trading tomorrow. CDEV, just a nice J-hook pattern with the other support level confirmation. Note how this came up through the 200. Then it pulled back indecisively. But where were the bottoms of these indecisive trades or trading each day? Right smack dab off the 200. Now they've gapped it up. Your doji best friend breaking out. Good probability. This one's heading higher. CGNX. Here's your little breakout. After a left-right combo Morningstar type signal, this one can be bought on positive trading. And TXMD, notice where this hammer signal bottomed out. Right smack dab on the 200. Now what do you got? If this opens positive, you've got your classic fry pan bottom, J-hook pattern. So you can be buying this one on positive trading tomorrow. SRNE. Scoop pattern. Look at your Morningstar signal. Question is, isn't the Morningstar signal, shouldn't that occur at the bottom of a trend? Yes, or if you see a Morningstar signal at the end of a flat handle, that acts just like your mini scoop. Get ready for a slingshot effect to the upside. NMIH, kind of your scoop pattern, but your best friend breakout. Look for at least a 45 degree off of here. Anytime you see a best friend signal, that tells you there's a new dynamic, a new dynamic in that price move. Kind of a little belt hold type signal, but more of a J-hook pattern on Vitamin Shop. Another one you can be buying on positive trading. NPTN, there's your best friend. And look what happened today. It closed right on the T-line. So what's your entry strategy on this one? Well, if it opens positive, it's confirming your Morningstar best friend type signal and telling you the T-line is not acting as resistance. Look for the next price move at least to come back up into this area. AFMD we've been watching. Notice it did a bullish Harami today right on the T-line. Start watching this one for positive trading. And this is one of those that has the big percent price move potential. That if they start trading positive from the 5 going to the 7.5, a good 50% upside potential. Rocket. This one is just illustrative. Got the right word. Notice the pullback. Indecisive, indecisive, indecisive. It hits the T-line and boom. That tells you there's still a lot more upside, that the consolidation is over. Somebody pointed out MDP. That's getting close to a breakout scenario. You're right there with kind of your cup and handle. Oh, Rocket. Usually a method rising, you could call it that. Usually a method rising only has 2 or 3 days in here. But yes, kind of the same scenario. But the scenario is you can see how the pullback, based upon the nature of each candlestick signal, is very indecisive. And when it hit a support level, you then saw immediately what the decision was. KMET, another best friend gap up. Look for a 45 degree off of here. And somebody was pointing out, I forget who was pointing out, Car Guru's little bullish engulfing signal. After pulling back, you can start looking to buy this one on positive trading. Especially with that bullish engulfing right here at the T-line. MRTN, there's another bobble breakout. You can be buying this one. Cork, a bobble breakout. You can be buying this one. VSAT, there's your scoop type pattern again. And notice how the scoop pattern started, your bullish Harami, then kind of a spinning top, best friend gap up. You want to be buying this one. You're watching for a slingshot effect. And where's the next potential target? You could get back up here to the 200-day moving average filling this gap. Yeah, Jay, it's not that there's a lot of good setups. It's just that we can find good setups constantly by the simple scanning technique of candlesticks, which is just identifying candlestick signals. There's your inverted hammer on salt and a gap up. This one, I would guess the next potential target is back up in this area, mainly because of that inverted hammer confirmation. And Match did break out today. That one you can be buying also. Yeah, and that's I guess one of the things I should keep pointing out is that no matter what market conditions you're in, the scanning techniques are so simple that out of the 10,000 or so trading entities out there in the markets, your simple scanning techniques are going to find the best trades each day in a matter of 5 to 20 minutes. Well, the advantage of running out of room on your watch list is now you can start looking to see which ones are the best ones out of the good trades. Now look at HTHT, dumpling top, and then look what it did today. There's your bearish trend kicker. What happens on a bearish trend kicker tells you there's still lots of force to the downside. Again, there's your bearish best friend closing back below the T-line. Where's your next logical target? Possibly all the way back here to the 50. Some, there's your dumpling top breaking down. Wave 1, wave 3, potentially all the way back down here. Iridium, very simple. Notice how they gapped down and did a doji below the open of the previous day. What's that tell us? Tells us if they open this lower, you can start shorting it immediately because now you've got a bearish flutter kicker telling you there's going to be a lot of force to the downside. And WABA, another one that failed up here at the 50, closed below the T-line, hasn't been able to get back up above the T-line. Now you're sitting right here on the, I'm sorry, this is the 200. Sitting right here on the 50. If this opens lower, it's telling us there's still a lot of pressure to the downside. BABA, another bearish trend kicker, indicating there's more downside. Fold. Notice what it did today. Opened lower, tried to come up, and closed back at the lower end of the range, telling us if they open this lower tomorrow, the sellers are still in control on wave 3, wave 1, wave 2, wave 3 down here somewhere. Positive trading, Linda, is we don't want to wake up tomorrow and see that the pre-market futures on the Dow is down 140 points and the NASDAQ is down 30 points. That's not going to be a positive open. Now, if we wake up and we see the Dow is down 20, which was soggy today, and the NASDAQ is up 8, and the stock you're looking at is opening slightly positive or even flat, you start watching it, because if it's opened right where it closed after a buy signal, you want to see if it starts trading positive from there. So what we don't want to see is, let me pick out one. I'm going to just pick out an example. Say we wake up tomorrow and the Dow futures are down 110 points and the NASDAQ's down 20, and this is opening here. Well, that's not a positive open, because there's nothing telling us that buyers are out there. Now, on the other hand, if the Dow opens down 30 and the NASDAQ is opening up 15, and this is opening up here, it tells us there's still bullish trading going on and that the markets aren't falling out of bed. KT, gap down. This opens lower. You definitely can start shorting it. Yeah, I think, doesn't matter what I think. But for what the news sounds like is that with the, all the prospects of tariffs and that sort of thing, the China economy isn't doing all that well right now. Okay, that's about all I got for tonight. Now, I do want to remind people that if you haven't done the 2-day training weekend, that is the comprehensive training. That starts us from the doji and goes right on through all the signals, all the patterns, entry and exit strategies, when to take profits, how to scan for the best trades, where to set your stop losses. The one overriding element of candlestick analysis is that everything built into the charts is just pure common sense. And once you understand what the charts are telling you, and that you can interpret where the bullish and bearish sentiment is, you've got an extremely powerful view of the what your trades are. You don't have to be depending on somebody else. Additionally, no matter what other trading program you're using, that if you overlay candlesticks on top of it, it becomes that much more easy to evaluate. What time is it? Oh, that's the same time on Traders Talk Live. Bob, that's at the same time, 8 p.m. So anyways, once you go through a comprehensive training, then all the sessions like this now don't become learning sessions, they become reinforcement sessions. That you're going to start recognizing is it 11:30? I don't know. I'll have to check. Ask me tomorrow. I didn't write down the time. Okay, it's in the daytime. All right. I guess that means there's probably some other traders going to be on with us. Okay. Any general questions on candlesticks? Pat, you'll get a lot more information than you expect. Starts at 3:15. Oh, okay. I'll have to check to see what I'm talking about that day. How about a session on trend line? Bob, I can do that. Now that it's getting yucky outside and colder, probably most of our Wednesday nights, Tuesday or Wednesday, will be filled up with extra trainings like entry strategies, how to use the moving averages, things that are going to improve the probabilities of being in the correct trade at the correct time. How to understand how to bear out their put and bull call can result in being CB. That's when you're trading naked in one direction or the other. Yes, on Raymond. On Friday, Raymond, you'll get Abe will send out the links for Saturday. Okay, Jim, let's go ahead and do the double line. And then 3.6 seconds, do the next double line. Okay, AMD was moving in the right direction. You stay long on this one. CWK. That one you can be buying, apparently a fairly new offering. But that one you can be buying on strength. And AFMD, yeah, start watching this. You can start buying this one, especially if it comes back up through today's high. Microsoft, just nothing there. You can see there is no direction on Microsoft. I would be someplace else. Nike is acting well in spite of all the negative rhetoric about their advertising, but notice your inverted hammer, bullish confirmation. That would give you kind of the prospect of coming back up to test the top of this channel. For some reason, GTT just does not come up over here. Jim, I don't have an explanation for it, but it is a good chart. I think it was a bobble breakout. That's not what I want. Pandora, nice J-hook pattern. After your bullish engulfing signal, be ready to buy this one on positive trading. United Rentals, nice morning star signal, smack dab off the 50. Next logical target is up here at the 200. MTZ, morning star signal. Another one you can be buying on strength. Just make sure you are conscious of this downtrending channel that needs to be breached. Foot Locker, kicker type signal. Another one that can be bought on positive trading. Just watch what it does at the 50. Apple, you can go short. Notice you've got a bearish doji sandwich and stochastic heading down, so it could be coming here, or this is where if you want to put your Fibonacci retracement numbers on, those are the levels that it could be coming to. So it's not that it's going to go there. It's now you at least have targets that if you see reversal signals at any one of these levels, that's where you know the buyers are stepping back in. ZS, that's a nice looking chart, except you need to see more strength on this one. Want to see it trade positive from this level. Sienna, J-hook pattern setting up after your little inverted hammer. If you're buying this one on positive trading tomorrow, obviously you want to see it get through this level, and you don't want to see it close back below the halfway point of that candle. Deer, it didn't quite get there, not on this chart anyways, but yeah, I don't think it quite got there. So I would stay long. I would use the close of this day as a stop. If it comes in that direction, that does mean they are selling it off. And Crocs, slow curve, stay long, or you can buy it if it breaks out through the little recent high right here. Here, I wouldn't be a buyer of this one until it gets up through the 50. It's up above the T-line, but you know everybody and their brother is watching to see what it does here. So it needs to get through the 50 for two reasons. To get through make sure it gets through there, stays up above that downtrending channel. Salesforce, you can get ready to buy this one on strength after the left-right combo and breaking this downward trend channel. AMBA disappeared. So this is what we were expecting, is a move to the upside. But then you had the bearish Harami, which is an immediate alert that maybe the buyers didn't have a whole lot of strength. And then the fact they opened it lower today told you they weren't breaking out. If you were long, you should have closed out today. You can always now buy back if it comes up through that level, because now that continues to confirm the bullish belt hold signal. L Brands, you can be buying this one. Here's another belt hold of what it should have been doing. Like on Dick's, up move, pull back, right to the T-line. Now you got a J-hook pattern. That's what you want to see after a buy signal. Oh, Jay, I don't know. Let's see. 110, 115 on Microsoft. Yeah, that to me, up here on the September, that to me seemed with the lack of magnitude of movement in this stock, Yeah. Uh, yeah, this Microsoft just doesn't move around all that much. Basically because it's got so much volume out there and that it's an institutional trader. Snap, you stay short, but now you've had some buying, you have a doji. If I was short, I'd put my safety stop at just above today's high. That's a nice fry pan bottom on Knight Swift Transportation. Stay long on this one. Riot kind of got beat up. You shouldn't be in this one at all. The fact that they were in the process of breaking out and closed back below the T-line, that's where you should have closed this position out. You shouldn't be in it until they can get back up above the T-line. Lulu, that one you can be buying on positive trading as long as it stays above the T-line. Chipotle did get up through the T-line today after showing a lot of support here at the 50. Now you can start thinking about buying it with the target up here at the gap, trying to fill that gap. And Netflix, still, if you're short, you can stay short. You just don't want to see it close up above the T-line. Workday, stay short ever since your bearish kicker signal. RRD, stay long as it stays above the T-line. We did Crone. Crone, you stay long on this. The J-hook pattern still seems to be in place. Papa John's, that one you can get ready to buy. That's a nice looking chart. Jamel, I'm guessing that is AMRS. Uh-oh. What have I done? Another J-hook pattern you can be buying on strength. So if this opens positive and starts trading positive, you can buy it and then just use the T-line as your stop. Micron. Stay short. But I would also, you see your stochastics are still heading down. I would anticipate you could be coming down into this area. ARWR, 45 degrees, stay with it. Reggie, if you've stayed with this one, you stay with it now. If you closed it out, you buy it back if it comes up to the $28 area. Splunk, this one you can get ready to buy back also. Not real strong, but if you stayed with it, you stay long. At this point, if I was going to be a buyer, it'd be above the highs. I want to see it breaking out into the new wave. UNST, this one you can buy if it comes up through the T-line, breaking this downtrend after the indecision right here on the T-line, or on the 50. Fluor, Morningstar Signal, another one you can buy on positive trading. There's a lot of stocks that have pulled back to their T-lines and starting back up. So those are the ones you can go after on strength, provided we see the markets trading positive tomorrow. EVBG, nothing. This one, when it failed to break out, this one has to open positive to stay in it. Then it needs to close up decisively. If it just trades sideways, I'd close it out because you don't have any indication of which way it wants to go from here. Stay short on Restoration Hardware ever since your bearish left-right combo. We did TSRO, stay long as it stays above the T-line. Mazor, you can buy this one on positive trading after today's left-right combo off the T-line. Time, another one you can buy on positive trading. Make sure your volume is good. I think we did RRD, right? Stay long. Jay, even on the September or October, yes, you got more time. It's just that Microsoft is just not a great trader. Oh, on Wednesday, all right. So watch that for that announcement. That might whipsaw some stuff around. Jimmy, only because if they're a large institutionally owned stock, it means there's lots of volume out there and they don't move around very fast. ATVI, you can buy this one on a bobble breakout tomorrow. So if you've got an institutional trader, that's kind of the nature of that stock, is it's not going to whip around unless you're at earnings time and there's a big surprise in earnings one way or the other. Otherwise, those are less tradable unless you're trading a much more conservative plan like option trading on the slower moving stocks. Now, obviously, they move in the same manner as any other stock chart. They're just not going to move as quickly. So there was a time where people would constantly ask about Facebook, which to me just was not a good trading stock because it didn't have the big percentage move. But then when I asked people in the options room why people trade it, because it does have viable option trades to it. Okay. Oops, we're even done early tonight. All right, keep an eye on the market. It's not really going anywhere with any great enthusiasm, which means your individual stock scanning becomes your important analysis. Diana, yes, we're going to do a night of option trading, not the basics, but how to analyze which strike price and which execution date you want to use based upon a candlestick chart. And there's been requests for how you trade futures. We'll do a basic training on futures here in the next. When is the options night, CB? It's we're probably a couple weeks away. We got the big 2-day training. A lot of this will become much better. Clarified or much better analyzed once you understand all the signals and patterns and what their results of them should be. All right, everybody. Stay out of the rain. We'll see everybody bright and early tomorrow morning.